Hey, Blender Bob here. This is update number 5 on the Tiki project. So I've been quite busy. I didn't have time to do as many updates as I wanted, but hey, here we go. So last time I told you about the sponsors that we had. So we had a Real by Fake that's providing us with a file server and a Kitsu server and the IT support, which is really cool. And we also have, for the plants, we had a Moss Biome, we had Terrascape, Botaniq, and GeoScatter. I made a clip about this, so the link is right there. Just check it out on the previous update. We had also GarageFarm.net that was providing us with enough rendering credits to render pretty much the entire film, which is like, yoo-hoo! Then we had Janga FX that offered us licenses for Embergen. Embergen is a real-time fire and smoke simulation software, which is going to be mind-blowing because we're going to need this in the movie a lot. I mean, a lot. And this morning I woke up and I got an email from Janga FX, and they told me that they will also support us for Liquigen, which is their next software. It's liquid simulation in real time, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. And because our story is on a tropical island, of course, we will need water simulation, so that is absolutely awesome. But since then, we had more sponsors. So it's one thing to do all these simulations and everything, but the people working in the VFX team for Tiki, they don't all have these incredible machines with the insane graphic cards and everything to be able to manage all these scenes. And also the people who are going to do the layout, well, with all the plans and everything, becomes super heavy, and the animators don't need to carry all these plans when they animate, because otherwise it would be too heavy to manage, to handle. You need a really, really powerful computer to be able to do this. So I thought we should have a master computer that will be used to do the simulations and will be used also to assemble all the shots together with the final resolution, with all the geometry and all the plans and everything in there for the final rendering. So for that, I need a crazy machine. Well, I got sponsorship there too. I got AMD that provided me with a 32-core processor with hyperthread that gives me 64 cores, which is completely insane. This thing is a beast. So it's one thing to have a crazy CPU, but you also need a very, very good GPU. And thanks to Seth, who already gave me the contact for AMD, he gave me some tips or some people to contact at Nvidia, and I did, and I got a sponsorship from Nvidia too. And they are sending me a 6088 graphics card. Now, if you don't know what this is, well, it's not a gaming card. It's more of a server card, and it has 48 gigabyte of VRAM. Can you imagine? That's twice the memory of a 4090, twice the memory. It's not as fast as the 4090, but I don't really care because I'm not in such a rush to render everything that fast. What I need is more memory because the island is so big and all the plants and everything, it takes an awful lot of VRAM. And this graphics card is going to be able to handle this workload. And yes, I'm going to make a clip about this. Actually, I'm going to make a clip of both the AMD CPU and the GPU from Nvidia so that we can compare the difference between CPU rendering and GPU rendering. The card is shipping right now. It's on its way. It's in a plane. It's coming. Ah! So Movella is supporting us by sending me 2 kits for motion capture with 1 year of software, which is absolutely awesome. So I'm going to be able to test this system. It's going to be just like, wow, I got an Xsense motion capture system. That's amazing. Also, Wonder Dynamics, another tracking system, another mocap system, but this one is different because it uses video to capture it. I made a clip about this. The link is right there, so you can check it out. It's an amazing software, and it's going to be very useful for Tiki for many scenes. So both are going to be complementary. So sometimes I will need the Xsense system, sometimes I will need the Wonder Dynamics, and I will go into more details in clips later to explain which one is good in which situation and this and that. For facial capture, well, I got another sponsorship from Reallusion for a character creator 4 and iClone 8, and they have this system where you can do a face capture with an iPhone, and also you could have an automatic lip sync, so you just have the soundtrack and it's going to find all the phonemes in there and it's going to match your animation with the phonemes. Pretty cool stuff. Yes, I will do a clip about this later. Now I'm just too busy. And I'm quite busy because right now I'm preparing to go to SIGGRAPH. SIGGRAPH is like the biggest car show for VFX, if you want, in Los Angeles. It's the place to see all the latest, greatest stuff that's coming in the industry. So I'm flying there on August 5th, and it's until the 10th. And on the 11th, I'm flying to Tahiti. Why Tahiti? Because Manatea, one of the characters, is Polynesian, and I need a Polynesian voice. I found a great actor, Edouard Malakai. He's from Tahiti. He's like the local Dwayne Johnson there, the local star, and he's great, he's awesome, he speaks French and he speaks English, and I'm so looking forward to record the voice with him. We got a sponsorship from Air Tahiti Nui, so I can fly to Tahiti. They send me tickets so I can go there and do my recording, which is so nice. And this is completely, all the sponsorship I had were related directly to hardware, software, stuff like this. But this one, it's a plane ticket. And it's really, really cool that they are supporting me on this project too. So if I calculate all the sponsorship we got on this project, it's about around $300,000 worth of stuff, which is amazing. But now we will need money because this is all software and hardware. We will need money. Why? Well, because we need to pay the actors, the sound recording, the mixing, the music, and all this stuff. And these people, well, they will not work for free because they don't care about Blender, and it's understandable. That's not what they do. It's different for the 3D artist on Tiki because the deal that we made was that we all work for free and we want to raise money that we will give to the Blender Foundation because we want to help the software. That's the idea behind it, and that's what I explained in the first clip that I did to introduce Tiki. So how am I going to raise that money? Well, I'm starting a Kickstarter project, and you will hear about it probably next week. So that's it for the sponsorship. Now let's talk about the project itself. I made some changes on some of the characters. Why? Because, well, it's my privilege as a director. I can change whatever I want, right? And my mom used to say, only fools don't change their mind. So I'm not a fool, I'm changing my mind. I can do this. Why am I changing my mind? Well, first of all, let's talk about the Tiki. The Tiki itself was based on a 3D model that I found somewhere on the internet. And ASC Studio made a different version. They modified it a little bit to make our own design. And it looked good on paper. The drawings were just beautiful. They were amazing. When we tried it in 3D and some expressions and everything, it looked too much like a cartoon character from The Simpsons. It looked like Krusty the Clown. So I thought, you know what, we need a redesign on the Tiki. We need something different. So we ended up with this design, which I think is absolutely amazing. The color palette and everything is going to be beautiful. So that's going to be the new design for the Tiki. We're also changing Manatea. We're completely scrapping the face from Manatea for a new design. Why? Because Manatea was not designed by the same guy who did the other characters, and you could tell that it was a different style. So Manatea looked too human. It didn't look cartoony enough compared to the other ones. So I made the call to redesign Manatea. I'm not showing you right now what he's going to look like. I'm going to keep this for a little bit later. I also made a change on the pig, so I want to change the eyes so that it looks more like the other characters. I want everything to look like they all belong in the same universe. Okay, what else? We still have some props that are being developed. The characters, they are still moving also. The sets, we have one big set that needs to be done, and then the rest is going to be the island that needs to be modeled high-res, and that's going to be complicated with all the vegetation and everything. I'm still not sure how we're going to manage so much geometry on the island, but we'll need to figure out, and we will. ASC Studio also started to do some concept art, so that's going to help for the layout, for the mood, for the lighting, for everything, and they look really, really beautiful. For the voices, I told you I already have an actor for Manatea. Damien, it's a little bit more complicated because of his history, and he's a complex character, so it's going to be hard to find a voice actor for Damien. I have 2 people that are trying for the voice now, but I'm still waiting to get the result. I'm still trying to find the exact voice that I need for this character. So we'll see. It's still work in progress, so people are trying different things, and we'll see how it goes. Tia Veura is covered. Some other smaller characters, it's all covered too. But Damien is going to be the most complicated one to nail. I would like to start the mocap in fall. That's going to be a little bit tricky because if I don't have the voice for Damien, well, I cannot do the mocap because we're going to do the mocap according to the voice. We record the voice first, and then an actor will do all the motions, all the character's movement according to the recording of the voices. So the workflow is a little bit complicated, but we don't have a choice. I don't have so many animators to work on the project, and that's the way we have to do it. But we're going to do it. Nothing is going to stop me from making Tiki. The VFX team is doing a very good job at developing stuff. We don't have any layouts ready yet. We don't have anything final, so they can only do R&D. But what they're developing is really, really amazing. And that's the latest update on the Tiki project. All right, bye.